When the storm hits inside you, it rarely announces itself with warning. It doesn't politely knock before entering. It crashes in. Your chest tightens, your pulse quickens, your mind spins with noise. Anger surges like fire. Loneliness presses against your ribs like a vice. Doubt whispers from the shadows that maybe you are not enough. And in those moments, you stand at a crossroads that defines the man you are becoming. Most men, without realizing it, are taught only two responses. The first is suppression. Push it down, lock it away, pretend the storm isn't there. We learn to tighten our jaws, to cross our arms, to answer every "are you okay" with a flat "I'm fine." But suppression is not strength. It is slow poison. Emotions buried alive do not die, they rot, and in their decay they leak into everything else. A man who bottles his storms eventually becomes a stranger to himself, weighed down by a silence that erodes him from within. The second response is explosion. If suppression is a quiet suffocation, explosion is a wildfire. Every storm inside bursts outward, in rage, in violence, in reckless choices. The anger that could have been guided into courage becomes destruction. The grief that could have built compassion becomes bitterness. The doubt that could have sharpened awareness becomes paralysis. A man who explodes becomes a danger to his relationships, to his ambitions, to himself. And so, caught between suppression and explosion, most men wander in confusion. To hide feels weak, to unleash feels reckless. What's left? The third path is rarely taught, rarely modeled: transformation. Not denial of the storm, not surrender to it, but the art of harnessing its force. Yet the modern world makes this third path harder to find. Never in history have men been so digitally connected, yet so emotionally disconnected. The timeline is full of followers, but the room is often empty of friends. In conversation, ask a man how he feels and watch the discomfort flicker across his face. We have built a culture where anger is tolerated because it can be disguised as toughness, but grief, fear, and vulnerability are treated as betrayal. We tell men, "Be strong," but we never explain what real strength means. So the storms brew quietly. Depression masquerades as endless scrolling at 2 a.m. Anxiety hides behind sarcastic jokes. Heartbreak disguises itself in the chase for money, status, or validation from women. Every man becomes a storm bearer, but few learn how to sail through it. And in that silence, risks grow like weeds. Suppression breeds bitterness that corrodes relationships. Explosion burns bridges that can never be rebuilt. Distraction numbs ambition until years slip away unnoticed. Here is the truth few dare to say: strength is not the absence of storms. Strength is the ability to stand when the storm arrives. It is not pretending the rain isn't falling, and it is not letting yourself drown. It is learning to plant your feet, steady your breath, and face the chaos without losing command of yourself. That is the beginning of emotional mastery. That is where the true path starts. Philosophical foundations. Begin with one simple truth: everything changes. The ancients knew this long before psychology measured emotions. Heraclitus said you cannot step into the same river twice. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself that every grief, insult, and burst of joy was temporary. To him, feelings behaved like weather, sudden, forceful, and always passing. Seeing them this way loosens their grip. They are not your identity. They are conditions moving through you. This is the Stoics' first lesson: perspective. You are not anger itself. You are a man experiencing anger. You are not grief. You are a man walking through grief. That separation is liberation. It lets you observe without drowning, act without being hijacked. Impermanence is not detachment, it is clarity. By naming feelings as fleeting, you reclaim the choice of what to do next. Marcus Aurelius, though Emperor of Rome, was not recording triumphs in his meditations. He was reminding himself to treat emotions like weather. When grief came, he navigated it. When anger surged, he measured it as wind to adjust to. He was not immune but deliberate. That practice, notice, name, reorient, is the foundation of mastery. Yet awareness alone is not enough. Once you have distance from emotion, you need a compass to guide action. For the Stoics, That compass was virtue. Their ethic rests on 4 pillars: wisdom, courage, justice, temperance. Far from abstract ideals, these are practical tools. Wisdom sees clearly. It separates signals from noise and prevents mistaking feelings for facts. Wisdom asks, is this sadness calling me to rest or to act? Is this anger worth energy or better released? It transforms raw emotion into useful information. Courage acts despite discomfort. It does not erase fear, but steps forward while fear lingers. Courage channels the heat of emotion into movement. A man with courage does not deny trembling. He grips the sword anyway. Justice directs energy outward. It ensures emotion serves more than the self. Anger turned inward corrodes. Anger turned outward as protection restores. Justice turns storms into contribution. Temperance steadies the flame. It prevents intensity from spilling into excess. In grief, temperance prevents collapse. In anger, it prevents damage. Temperance regulates, so you endure without burning out. Together, these virtues transform emotion into disciplined force. In the middle of turbulence, the Stoic asks, what would wisdom do? What would courage require? What would justice demand? Where must temperance hold me steady? The answers calibrate response not through suppression, but redirection. If Stoicism provides the map, the samurai offer the training. For centuries, these warriors trained not only with blades, but with hardship. Their austere drills, fasting, cold exposure, long solitary practice, were not about masochism. They were conditioning the mind to stay calm when discomfort struck. The body was the doorway to the spirit. Samurai practice proved that discomfort passes, hunger fades, cold dulls, fear loosens its grip. By training through these states, they carried resilience into every confrontation. A warrior who endured frostbite or hunger could endure humiliation or fear without breaking. This endurance method applies today. Cold showers, fasting, digital restraint, early mornings, these are modern forms of conditioning. They are not punishments, but calibrations. They teach you to feel tension without panic, to sit with discomfort without collapse. Repetition sealed the lesson. Samurai drilled kata until movement became instinct. In our lives, journaling, breathing exercises, or rehearsing calm responses play the same role. Each repetition engraves pathways of pause, arrow, assess, arrow, act. Training rewires reaction into response. Picture a man criticized in public. Untrained, he lashes out or hides. Trained in endurance, he lets the sting exist, breathes, and responds with clarity. His steadiness is no accident. It is built through practice. When impermanence, virtue, and endurance are woven together, they form a complete discipline. Impermanence gives perspective. Emotions are weather, not self. Virtue gives direction. Channel energy through wisdom. Courage, justice, temperance. Endurance gives capacity. You can face storms without collapse. The result is not numbness, but steadiness. The man who embodies these foundations does not avoid storms, he navigates them. He does not lose emotion, he commands it. He is not unfeeling, he is unshaken. Practical guidance: how to turn storms into strength. When philosophy stays in books, it dies in books. To live it, you need tools. The Stoics and the samurai didn't grow strong by thinking about strength. They grew strong by practicing it every single day. But here's the truth. Resilience isn't built in grand battles, it's built in small habits you practice quietly, away from the spotlight. Let's break down how you can apply their wisdom in your own daily life. 1. Mindful interruptions in the digital age. In the ancient world, men faced hunger, cold, and war. Today, the battlefield is constant distraction. The phone in your pocket is a storm of dopamine, notifications, scrolling, endless noise. So here's a practice. Set 3 mindful interruptions during your day. When your phone buzzes, instead of checking it instantly, pause. Count 3 deep breaths before responding. This single pause rewires your nervous system to stop being reactive and start being deliberate. Over time, you will notice you are no longer a slave to impulses, whether it's anger in an argument or the urge to scroll mindlessly. You reclaim your choice. 2. The Stoic pause in real conflict. Words spoken in anger ruin friendships, relationships, even careers. Musashi said a single wrong move can end a duel. The same is true for speech. So here's a drill. The next time someone provokes you, instead of replying immediately, repeat silently in your mind, "What outcome do I want?" This forces you to think in terms of virtue and consequence, not emotion. If the answer is peace, then your tone changes. If the answer is truth, then your words sharpen with precision, not rage. This technique transforms fights into opportunities for mastery. Try it once this week. You'll feel the shift instantly. Third, chosen discomfort training. The samurai trained barefoot in snow, not because they enjoyed suffering, but because they understood. If you can face chosen hardship, unchosen hardship loses its power. For you, this doesn't mean swinging swords at dawn. It means choosing controlled discomfort daily. Take cold showers 3 times a week. Wake up 1 hour earlier than you want. Skip the elevator and take the stairs. These small chosen difficulties harden your mind against life's bigger storms. When chaos comes, your body already knows, "I can endure." Pain becomes familiar, not frightening. 4. The energy redirection method. Emotions are energy. Anger, loneliness, even anxiety, they all carry heat. Most people waste that energy in self-destruction, shouting, binge-watching, scrolling endlessly. Instead, redirect it. The next time you feel a storm rising, do something physical and goal-oriented within the hour. Push-ups until your arms shake, a sprint down your street, or channel it into a craft. Play an instrument, sketch, hammer out a business plan. The rule is simple: storm energy must never be wasted, it must be converted. This not only calms you, but creates visible results over time. Your anger becomes strength, your loneliness becomes skill. 5. The delayed impulse drill. A warrior is not defined by his first strike, but by his ability to wait for the right one. So here's a modern adaptation. Pick one impulse daily: food, scrolling, snapping back in anger, and delay it for just 5 minutes. Not deny it, just delay it. If you wanted sugar in your coffee, wait. If you wanted to check Instagram, wait. If you wanted to reply harshly, wait. That 5-minute window trains the muscle of self-command. Over weeks, you realize you are no longer dragged around by urges. You are steering them. That is freedom. 6. Building quiet brotherhoods. The Stoics valued friendship, not as dependency, but as sharpening steel sharpens steel. Today, many men either isolate completely or cling desperately. Neither builds resilience. Instead, cultivate 2 or 3 allies who challenge you to rise higher. This doesn't mean trauma dumping every night. It means doing hard things together: workout sessions, business projects, even disciplined conversations where you hold each other accountable. No flattery, no excuses, just quiet brotherhood. As Seneca said, "A friend to all is a friend to none." Choose carefully and let those bonds forge you. 7. The nightly reset ritual. Here's a practice stolen from both warriors and monks. Before bed, conduct a nightly reset. Not journaling, action. Lay out tomorrow's clothes. Prepare your water. Set one clear goal for the morning. By doing this, you end chaos before it begins. Sleep becomes deeper because your mind is unburdened, and your morning starts with clarity instead of confusion. The storm of tomorrow cannot knock you over if you have already set your footing tonight. 8. Weekly storm simulation. This is where theory becomes muscle. Once a week, deliberately simulate a storm. That means creating a situation where you practice control under stress. Examples: go 24 hours without sugar or caffeine, train intensely with no music or motivation, have a difficult conversation you've been avoiding. By doing this, you remind your mind, storms are not enemies, they are teachers. You walk into the chaos voluntarily so that when involuntary chaos strikes, you are already seasoned. Samurai did this with snow and hunger. You do it with modern tests of patience, silence, and discipline. Conclusion: when tempests rise within, fury, grief, uncertainty, they do not come to shatter you. They come to reveal you. Just as fire does not invent steel, but only shows what is hidden within the ore, Your storms expose the core of who you are. Most men panic in these moments. They bury their emotions under shallow distractions or let them explode unchecked, destroying everything around them. But the warrior who understands the deeper law sees something different. Every storm is an invitation to grow into the man you claim to be. Miyamoto Musashi knew this truth. He walked battlefields where death was only a heartbeat away. Yet it was not the clash of blades that made him invincible, but his command over himself when no one watched. In the solitude of Regando, surrounded only by silence and stone, he faced his greatest opponent, his own restless mind. There he carved wisdom sharper than steel, writing lessons that still cut across centuries. His legacy is not a trail of defeated rivals, but the mastery of a spirit that could not be broken, even in the stillness of exile. History whispers the same lesson through other giants. Mandela stepped out of prison not with vengeance in his veins, but with vision in his eyes, because he had learned to rule himself before he sought to heal a nation. Shackles can bind the body, but not the mind that chooses discipline. Newton, forced into hiding while plague devoured his world, turned confinement into creation. While others surrendered to fear, he uncovered laws of the universe. Storms confronted them, yet they walked out carrying light. And so the question returns to you. When life throws its weight against your chest, what will you do? Will you flinch? Will you collapse? Or will you stand, calm at the center of chaos, refusing to surrender your mind? Anger can become fire for courage. Loneliness can become the crucible of self-reliance. Doubt can become the whetstone that sharpens your will. But only if you dare to stay inside the storm long enough to master it. Marcus Aurelius gave us the unshakable compass. Strength is never in controlling the world, but in commanding the self. He did not ask men to escape storms, but to govern the one place they could never lose, their own mind. That is where freedom lives, that is where power begins. So let others curse the thunder, let others pray for calmer skies. You will walk forward, eyes steady, shoulders firm, unafraid. Because you know the secret. Storms are not punishments, they are passages. They are the gates through which only the disciplined, only the resilient, only the truly unbreakable can pass. And when you emerge on the other side, you will not simply have survived. You will have been remade, not a man tossed by winds, but a man who has become the storm.